No captivity. Freezy, freezy.
Let me pose a question real quick. We had talked about this a couple days ago, Just Jay. Now we talked about like what can be some solutions to like move the community forward or whatever. Do y'all think like therapy is a big needed thing in our
Yes,
community?
yes, yes, and yes, and yes. I'm answering for everybody. Yes.
Yeah, but make sure you
Yes
pick
and
out
no.
your own therapist. Don't go to nobody that
Please
that
do your proper due diligence and your proper vetting. Yes.
Yes and
Okay.
no.
Okay, what do you got? You said no. Who said
Yes.
Oh,
no?
go,
Yes.
coach. Get it, coach.
Let me,
Get
let
it.
me see why you say
I'm
no.
finna
Okay.
shine your
So the
head
reason
till
why I
you
say
get a
no is
burn
this,
on the top
right?
of your head, Trey.
But the
Go
reason why I
ahead.
say no is this, right? Because a lot of times in our community, we talk about our problems to the people that we know, right? I learned early that I don't know you next level. I come up on you with a problem. Are you going to give me biased advice based off my current condition? Are you going to give me unbiased advice?
Yeah,
I'm gonna try my best to be unbiased about it.
Exactly. You
so
know what I'm
that's
saying?
therapy
But
right there.
then, even when you give it to me, I have to be willing to act on the advice. A lot of people get good advice, great advice,
Yeah. But it's
but
not.
they're
But it's
afraid
not.
to
But
act
but
on it.
but
Oh, the
therapy is not just advice.
But
But
it's
what I'm saying is, a therapist is going to give you advice, steps to take.
yeah, but in a controlled environment versus you walking up to a random
But,
person
but
and talking to that person. See, a therapist
yes,
is going to give you
yes,
that advice
yes.
in a controlled environment,
Y'all
which
know I want
is
my turn for this. I'm gonna wait.
But
in
in
turn hence to be a better, kind of effort to get you to, self-evaluate yourself. If
but
that
those
makes any sense.
conversations, that's what I'm saying. Those conversations have to be had with a lot of people walk around. Listen, the conversation has to be had with the people that hurt you the most. A lot of us avoid that tough conversation, then we circle back years later. I
Facts.
mean, have the conversation. We talk about everything else instead of having the conversation. We got to have a conversation, and it takes the family, mama, daddy, bring everybody together and have
We
that
don't teach
conversation.
that, but we don't teach conflict resolution. We don't teach
Well,
to
we
display
start,
our feelings. We don't give that to our children. We don't give that to each
but
other.
that's
Grown
no
men can't hug
excuse
another
because
grown
we
man
know
without
today.
egregious shit.
But we know today. We can't say we grown men and we grown women if we not willing to have a conversation when we know that those conversations need to be had.
Those conversations sometimes require a objective party that is not within the quote unquote dysfunction or the
bam.
misunderstanding or the
That's what I was gonna say.
conflict
I
in
said the
order
code.
to sort the stuff out, right? And so again, people have to figure out what works for them, but I will always advocate for mental health and therapy, right? Because it's more than just sitting down talking about your problems. It's more than just airing out your problems, right? Can it be a venting session? Yes, but any good therapist will build on, right, a person sharing their experiences. We already had this conversation the other day. A good therapist will help you set goals. It's bigger than oh, you don't want to change. First of all, as adults, it's hard for us to change. It's hard for us to even change some of our eating habits. So why we expect stuff to change so easily, you know what I'm saying, that's deep rooted from childhood is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a process, right? So yeah, a person may have the tools, right? A person may have knowledge, but sometimes it takes a objective party, right? Because people will be biased, but you could still be objective, right? It takes a objective party that is outside of that to help you sort through. No different than you being a coach, Trey, right? When you get with these people with whatever sport you do, you give them strategy, right? You give them strategy on how to beat the okay, so basketball, boom, football, okay, all that. So you teaching offense, you teaching defense, right? So if you're teaching offense, right, defense is the problem, right? Now I don't really know sports. With football, I just know you take the ball and run, and then at the Super Bowl parties when everybody holler, I
It's
holler,
okay.
okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
But
It's
listen,
okay.
All right,
but
we
check
can
this out. I'm gonna break it down, right? So when you have the defense, right? So we could view the defense as the problem, right? As a coach,
Mhm.
you teaching strategy to the offense. You feel me? You teaching them how to navigate through. You know what I'm saying? Navigate through to reach the end line. And that's where those different modalities come into play when we talked about CBT, DBT, EMDR therapy, all that different type of stuff to help desensitize traumas and also help us problem solve is so much bigger than just sitting on the couch and telling people our problems. It's so much bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to continue to ramble, but it's so much bigger than that. And we also talked about next level how, yeah, the child could have individual therapy depending on, you know what I'm saying, the severity of whatever issues because children need an outlet, right? I don't mind my children talking to an outside party because they may want to talk about my ass. You know what I'm saying? I might be getting on their nerves. I want them to come tell me, but they also need a party that is willing to listen to them without them worrying about hurting mommy feelings. You know what I'm saying? And then family need to be able to come together and discuss all of that stuff with a
Hurt
objective
my
party that
feelings.
is not enmeshed in the mess, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
All right, now
Mhm.
I want to say is she's right about going seeking outside of your circle. I have friends that are therapists that are real doctors, but I wouldn't go to them niggas for nothing. Straight up, I just won't because I need to be on the other side. I need to be somewhere else with a therapist, not them. And y'all will see
Somebody
them.
that don't know your stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But I'll say this: they don't even know it. That's the whole point. That's why I ain't going to them. But
Mhm.
but the thing is, y'all will see that in some upcoming content to a friend of mine, they're a therapist. But I'd say that I believe that a lot of black men don't go to therapy because of that, because they don't trust. And I think some years back when we had this problem with this female therapist that was on TikTok who violated her, you know, HIPAA type situation and lost her job because she went back and used her personal feelings, took her personal feelings out on social media. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do believe in therapy, fellas, but I think that you have to go seek out your own. Look at these people' backgrounds. Like you said, JT, background check. That's when you need to be doing a background check.
Yeah, do your due diligence. Yeah,
But
vet it.
but
Yeah,
but I
you. Oh, go ahead, bro.
no, I was just gonna say I think I don't know if that stigma is still there as prevalent as it was back then, but like I was telling Just Jay, like a lot of people used to look at therapy as something wrong with you. Like I'm like if I need like something is mentally wrong with me if I need to go seek therapy. I think that's something we need to get away from. And I think we carry a lot of like childhood trauma or PTSD, you might want to call it whatever, and it comes with you into your adulthood, and that can be a problem too.
Yeah,
We
it
think,
is.
we
It's
think
And
that
when we
definitely.
fall, we tell ourselves, man, because as men, we tell the little boys when they fall, man, shut the hell up, pick yourself up, brush yourself off. No, cry. That shit hurt. Cry. You need that. Cry. Let it out. Then we gonna pick you up and get you together. Cry first, though. I ain't never told none of my boys when they hit the ground, pick your damn self up and shut the hell up. I ain't never
That's facts, Bearded.
cry that
Now I
shit
ain't
out.
gonna lie, Bearded. I let mine cry for a little bit. Like my little one, like he's so extra. Like he be like his like lip be getting
I ain't say
ashy. He be
that.
like, you know how they do all that other shit. I let him get some tears out, and after a minute or two, I be like, yeah, that really hurt, huh? I talk to him. I be like, yeah, that sucks. That really hurt, huh? He be like,
Yeah,
yes, and then
yeah.
I be like, all right, baby, wipe your face. Let's keep it, and then let's keep it moving. But I don't tell him how to feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I think about when we talk about these conversations. We grew up in households where we weren't allowed to express ourselves. It was suppressed. Who you think you is. Who you think you are. Who you supposed to be mad with. You can't be mad. You can't express frustration. You can't express nothing. So then you grow up and you don't know how to articulate your feelings in a healthy way, or whatever you're experiencing. You don't know how to articulate it in a healthy way. And so, like I tell my boys, like, you feel how you want to feel. I don't care about you being mad. Like, I'm one of them parents, I don't give a fuck about you being mad with me. I really don't care. It
But
don't
guess what?
bother
Hey,
me.
therapy ain't for
You ain't
always.
gonna always like what I say anyway.
So, yeah, you know, it's regular folk that said that think they ain't got nothing going on with them that go to therapy. I
Exactly.
know
And
If
some
you
people.
people
if you
use it
can
as
live
just
in,
somebody to bounce ideas off of. That's
yeah,
true.
but if
But when we
if
think about therapy, we think that something must be terribly wrong, or oh man, you didn't know he was
And
51
that's one
days.
of those myths, right?
Yeah,
Was you
Just
here,
like
Coffee, when we talked about that the
me and
other
them go to
day?
well, one thing for sure is that it ain't exactly right with you, so you got to get tuned up. So I mean, one of the things that I've learned in therapy was that I remember in my screening, right? When I was in my screening, man, it was crazy. The initial screening that I had, the therapist that I had, when they started tapping into my military, they found out that they wasn't the one that was for me. And guess what they did? They referred me to Coach Furr
guess what?
because
So
they
you
wasn't
That's what's up.
qualified
That's
to
what's
deal.
up.
so JT, you at 100%.
They were not qualified to deal with the shit that they
But
didn't
that's a
know that
good
that was going
therapist,
to
though.
happen. Yes.
That's a good
So they,
therapist that knows that they lane. They be like, okay,
yep,
well, your needs seem to extend, what I'm saying, my capabilities and my knowledge set, and I
yep,
had that conversation with Freezy. I think Next Level was there too. And we was just talking about how don't every therapist don't have the same knowledge set.
right,
Specialize in this, some specialize in that, some specialize with grief, some specialize with SA, some specialize in DV, some
yep,
specialize in addiction. You know what I'm saying? You have to find somebody that fit your needs, and if that doesn't work, find somebody else. You ain't got to sit with the same person if you ain't really feeling that person. I don't give a fuck if their eyes look creepy, because some of them people, their eyes be looking creepy and shit. You know, but
hmm,
I got issues, you know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers be looking at me crazy. I be like, okay, that motherfucker kind of strange. If you ain't feeling that person like that, get missing, because in order to really have effective therapy, you have to be transparent. What's the point of going to therapy and you gonna sit there and lie? And you
yeah,
gonna
it's
sit there
not
and
therapy,
deny
right?
and swerve around everything, and you gonna deflect everything they say, and then they trying to talk to you. You pulling up talking points and statistics while
Yeah,
they trying to talk to you about your innermost bullshit that you heard about and that you want to really, you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
even with some dudes, like when y'all was talking, I just asked two people here, and they others. You feel me? I asked
hmm,
them, do they believe in therapy? One said yeah. Another one, who was the other, he said kinda, not so much. And his wife is a therapist. So go to show
yeah,
you, everybody. You feel me? Now
yeah.
That's
that experience might be
that's
that
go.
that experience might be a little different. You feel me?
So
But this
yeah,
goes to show you. You know what I'm saying? We get stuck in this box that we the worst of the worst. And this is why I tell y'all, I refuse to tolerate that. People that go outside know that there's dysfunction all over this
all around.
world. We are
Hell
not
yeah.
the worst of the worst. Like, people be trying to talk about us like we. Listen, y'all. I done told y'all where some of y'all know I stayed near the reds, okay?
Mhm.
Listen, it's dysfunction everywhere. And for people to try to
And they
like
nasty.
minimize it to our shit, no man. It's dysfunction everywhere.
Yeah, if you want to
There are
get,
nuances. I ain't gonna deny the nuances, but
yeah, but
people got shit everywhere.
if you want to get to another level, you're going to have something to break down the things that you've probably that's been holding you back in life. One of the biggest things that I can tell you a lot of people have a problem with is procrastination. And once they get to the root of the procrastination, it makes them a better person. So therapy, in my opinion, definitely works because there's a lot of things that we have that can hold us back in certain elements in life. And a lot of it is going to be rooted to the fear of the unknown. A lot of it's going to be rooted into, things that happen that we didn't know that was trauma, right? As kids. Just is,
Thought that shit was
you
normal.
experienced,
Thought that
yeah,
shit was normal.
thought it was normal as hell. But sometimes it be some
Nervous
stuff,
system shot like a bitch. And you just
right?
thought it was normal to be on edge all the time.
Hmm.
Child, listen.
And so you would have a therapist that would ask you, because they'll take you back as far as you can remember, right? So they can, to see where it is that you are having the most severity in your problems, right? And they ask you, think about, as far as you could of a time that you was disappointed in someone or your parents, or if you was disappointed in yourself. Well, they ask you a lot of probing questions, right? And then you were thinking that it's just, like my mom told me I couldn't have this ice cream and I wanted it. And the reason why was because I did something that I had nothing to do. And they will explain to you that that's probably something that carried all the way into your adulthood that you never resolved, right? It could be or couldn't be. So when they have that conversation with you, they'll be able to understand, and you'll be able to do it right along with them if that was something that led to whatever little nuances you got as an adult. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes, but they have to probe to see what it is that are the triggers that's with you, the things that actually gets to a point where it can make you close down. Once you start talking to therapists, it's not what a lot of people think it is. The conversations that you
Exactly.
have
It's just
with
a
these
vehicle to
therapists, man,
self-discovery. It's just a
yeah,
vehicle to self-discovery. And to me, it's just another layer. That's not the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
think that can complement the whole holistic experience. You know what I'm saying? As we grow, as we address different habits we have that whether they are physical, emotional, escapism, food, everything. To me, it's
hmm
just a vehicle to self-discovery. And I truly appreciate the men up here talking about this because I like I
In the
just
past, they
appreciate it
didn't
because
want
I
us.
do think that men are very closed off a lot of times when it comes to things of this nature for very valid reasons, right? Like,
hmm
I'm not going to discount that. And even when it comes to us, with trusting, you know what I'm saying? Because there's
hmm
been so much egregious things in the past when it comes to the medical field, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? That
word.
stuff matters, but I appreciate the fellas talking about this. And I don't know, next level, I definitely think it's worth having a closed panel with some fellas when it comes to this therapy shit. Because I'm telling y'all, it is so much power in unlocking this shit. A lot of dudes be thinking they good, but you know what I'm saying? They'll say they stoic, but a motherfucker will punch a hole in the wall. You hear me?
hmm
That ain't stoicism. That's called suppressor like a motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Is what the fuck it's called. When you ready to push a bitch head through a goddamn fish tank. Listen, that's called suppress than a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey,
It
Y'all,
ain't
buddy.
just
y'all know
about
what?
just
Y'all,
being crazy. It's just about getting the coping skills and just having awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like
y'all know
it
what?
ain't that you're just crazy. It's just shit is suppressed.
Y'all know
Yeah.
what? I in the past, in the black manosphere, um, I've heard dudes say, "Hey, man, we don't need therapy. Just like pull your shit up from your bootstraps." Just like what Bearded said. Now, I went against that, and a lot of people talked against me for putting out a video, a short about black men's mental health and therapy. That's when I saw that I start to grow as a content creator because you know everybody's like, man, that's deep, you know, and sometimes you have to challenge yourself away from groups. Some of the shit they say be true. So I'm not gonna count everybody out. I can take some from everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're the belligerent woman on the panel, not this panel. Let me say that. Not this panel.
Listen, Chucky J is not swinging. Okay, I'm here for it today.
I
I
know,
receive it.
not you,
Amen.
not you. Come on now, not you. Whether if I make reference to the women I think are hyenas, that's my opinion. If I want to say that, or if I call out women who say, delete black men and black boys, I call out the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? That's what I call out. I don't. I'm not against individualism or how you think, because what you think ain't got nothing to do with me, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I wanna read this super chat real quick. Shout out to James Moore again for the $5. He say, y'all keep this up because this is therapy for me.
Yeah.
Word.
Shout out to
Don't
you,
be using
James
this
Moore.
as no substitute,
James
James.
been in
I
this space for
appreciate
long.
you.
No, no,
He
But
has, he
rocking
has.
with them.
Hey,
Yeah.
I
one
know.
of the
And to me,
differences
it's edifying, and
of
that's
years
the thing. It's
ago,
about building up. You got it. Somebody is
no,
Beard. Are you frozen? Is your head moving? I can't see. Who's
no,
talking?
he
No,
just he
Trey's
just
talking.
still. But one of the differences that I see from when I was a young man, and today is that as young brothers back then, when we would get together and you've seen it in some movies like The Brothers or whatever. We would be able. The Brothers was our therapy. We could talk each other off the ledge. We could give each other that advice on how to get into a better space. And we didn't, salute to my parents, man. They loved me unconditionally and with conditions. They had a condition for me
I
to,
like that.
with expectations for me to be better than them. But they used to always tell me, your ass is going to be better than me, whether you like it or not. Well, I don't want to be shit. You ain't shit now. My parents didn't have no problem telling me the truth. And at the time, in the moment, it's ugly because we all in our feelings when we're young and we all look funny as hell. You want to know how somebody look? Go look at their 6th grade ugly ass picture. It's
I
all
didn't take
funny.
pictures in 6th grade.
Yeah, go look at the 6th grade picture. And that'll tell you a lot about if they really love themselves. But anyway, it's just that some of us get it early in life, and some of us get it later. My thing is this: what are you gonna do once you get that shit? Once you get it, are you going to start living it, or still make excuses why you can't do something? No, you have the freedom today. You don't have to go to college to become a fucking, to get all of this new information. It's there, readily available.
Yeah, that's where we had to go.
Just because I ain't shit, I want my kids to be better. How can I get them to be better? Teach them, not tell them, but teach them to do things differently. Encourage them to do things. Again, I didn't grow up in a time where all the babies was running around here over damn weight. Everybody was muscle bound. The girls were so fine when they was 12, when we was 12. They would run around and jump and climb trees and shit. Now everybody's standing around. Ain't nobody outside. The kids ain't outside. They like vitamin D. They ain't got, the sun ain't never messed up their skin.
And not to mention, you can distinguish a man, a dude who's a man, well, a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you got dudes that have bodies that are shaped female-like.
But again,
because they sitting around.
But a man is made to get outside and run and jump and
got
climb.
childbearing hips.
But we used to sort things out as men. We can sort things out on a hierarchy level, because at some point, if we got into it, we would have to fight it out, wrestle it out, race it out, jump it out. You know what I'm saying? But
we don't even want kids to get dirty nowadays. Like, I even have to be mindful of that when my child be running around and his hands be getting dirty and stuff. Like, go wipe your hands, go wash your hands. But listen, we built up our immunity being outside, running around, getting dirty and stuff. We don't even want kids to get dirty nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
10 minutes in the rain and they'll be sick for the next damn 2 months. And can't come to practice, can't come to no practice.
And I used to play in the water when it rained. What? I used to be out there like singing in the rain.
Hey, look, we know what it means.
Used to tell me to put on some shoes because I'm gonna get worms in my feet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
we know what it means.
You know what I'm saying? But we still went outside.
Drink water with lead in it. All y'all done drunk some water with lead in it.
Listen, I stayed drinking water hose.
Come on, y'all was drinking
water was good water. Water hose water was good when you be outside.
Right. We knew what it mean when our mama say, "Hey, you go take a shower. You smell like outside."
Listen, I still say that, JT. I be like, stop, you coming in here smelling like outside. Smelling like hot water. Hot water and pickles.
Let's go get this super chat in. Shout out to Miss Jalen with the $25. She say, shout out to Mr. Freezy and panel. Thank you. Now,
thank you for your support, Miss Jalen. But to your point, Trey, it's way different. Like, kids more fragile nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I done seen like videos and stuff. It was one video where this dude was like, okay, Gen X kids, and like they ran into the wall. You know, they was hit the wall. Did you see that? Yeah. And I think the Gen X kids hit the wall back or something like that. Fell out.
Yeah,
you know,
the millennials hit the wall back.
Yeah. I gotta find that. But I fell out laughing But it's so true. Like I just think about that even with mine. He could bump himself or something like that, and he be out there whining. And one thing I can't stand is whining. My youngest, he's a whiner. That shit be burning me up. To y'all point, when people have multiple kids, all kids don't come out the same. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't.
Like
They don't.
all kids don't respond to life the
I
same.
said that
All
earlier.
kids don't have the same resilience. And so I don't be understanding how people will say, oh, you got 4 kids and one of them is a failure. You fucked up. First of all, they individuals. So you trying to tell me the lesson was just that different? No, kids take on different things, and
Individuality.
you do what you do now. So my therapist told me something, and I'm trying to remember exactly what she said, but she was saying, as parents, when we give our children information and when we impart information into our children, she say once they reach a certain age, you've given the child everything that you can give them on a base level. You know what I'm saying? They have to add on and build from that. But I think it was like young teenager. You know what I'm saying? Because I was having some issues with my oldest when he had became a teenager. He got testosterone. He done started bucking and all this stuff. And she was like, "Listen, you have given him everything you can give him. At this point, it's up to him to decide what to do with it, and he could build on that." But we be thinking when kids 25, 30, you could still get them a whole lecture and a speech. No, when you think about it, us that have kids, or whether you got godchildren or nieces and nephews, you have said the same thing to them over and over and over, just in different ways. We give the same sermon. The
Yep.
sermon don't be changing. We just
Right.
give it in different ways. At
Right.
some point, it's gonna resonate. At some point, it may not resonate. We just hope that it do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
No captivity. Freezy, freezy.